Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Sullivan, and this week I want to dive into anxiety and pregnancy. I personally have been dealing with anxiety for over 15 years now. It's my cat Oliver. You might see some cats walking through my videos. I have two ragdoll cats that I might be walking around in the back. So anyways, I wanted to talk about anxiety that I've been facing my whole life, and then bringing it into pregnancy and how to kind of deal and cope with anxiety if you're currently going through it yourself. I am not in any way a medical provider. I am just a regular person that suffers from anxiety and am dealing with it in my own way, and it might not work the same way for you, but these are just helpful ways that I feel I can shed light on how to manage it from my point of view. I'm wanting to just put it out there that I am not on any medication. I have been on medication in the past to help deal with my anxiety and panic attacks, but when I knew that I was going to start getting pregnant, I wanted to wipe my body clear of any things that I had put in my body. I just wanted to be on prenatal vitamins and anything that could not affect my baby in any way. So I really put a lot of effort towards counseling. I go to counseling regularly. Now with the coronavirus and not being able to go in person, I do telehealth sessions with my counselor just to kind of have a regular cadence talking about what's currently going on. It's great to have friends, and if you have a significant other that you're close to be able to talk to about things, but it's also great to be able to have a resource that you can talk to and them not have sort of like a judgment on you, that you are able to kind of just go in knowing that they're not going to be biased against anything, that you can just talk freely about what's going on in your life, and hopefully they can help deal with your anxiety and stress. Also recommend doing some sort of exercise, whether it's walking or yoga, or maybe there's a program that you have been really excited about trying. For me, another thing that came up on my Instagram was an exercise called the Bloom Method that was geared towards pregnancy, and I was really excited to try it, so I purchased it, and it is honestly awesome. It helps you to deal with breathing and exercises that are good for your body when you're pregnant. There's yoga, there's just so much more to it than just a standard workout regimen that most companies would provide. There's also free options out there that you can utilize. Amazon, I know, has some options. YouTube has some great options. Just stretching and taking time for yourself is super important, and I think most people know that, especially if you've been facing anxiety for some time. Exercise is just like a nice release, and even if you go for a walk or do some stretching or breathing would be my third recommendation. I think that breathing is so important. We all take it for granted. I mean, we're breathing every day, but to really just take the time to really breathe in and then out and release those stresses that you've been carrying with you all day. I would notice when I would go to work or do a project or do something that was strenuous on myself, and I would leave and need like a release and realize that I wasn't breathing properly, which is an interesting thought, but it's something that I really took initiative on, and I do take time out of my day to do some breathing exercises and meditation to really calm myself and bring myself back to, reality in a way. Another recommendation that I would love to share is self-love. I think that we as a society put so much pressure on ourselves, and even more so when you're pregnant or going through some sort of life change, that you're in comparison to other people that are going through things. It's such a scary time in your life because there's so much unknown, and you just have to kind of go with what you're being told by others or your doctor, but to really be able to take pressure off yourself and just feel good about the decisions that you're making, and feeling like you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself is something that I personally have struggled with in the past and have really taken initiative on since I've been pregnant. Really reflect and be more self-love for myself. I mean, a bunch of my friends have been pregnant, they are pregnant, and it's so hard to not want to do what everyone else is doing, but you just have to realize that you're your own person, and it's important to make decisions for yourself based on what your own intuition or what you and your significant other are going through together, because nobody knows what you're going through in your own life. And I could go on a rant about it, but I think it's just important to always reflect on what makes you happy and what feels right in your heart, and just go with that, because when you worry so much about what everyone else is thinking, it just puts so much added pressure and stress on yourself that it's not worth it. At the end of the day, it's just not worth it. Another recommendation for especially new moms and being pregnant and dealing with anxiety is making sure that you're educating yourself well. I think that personally, there's so much information thrown at you at all times that it's hard to contain it all and not let it kind of overwhelm you. But if your hospital or OBG has any suggestions on any pre-birthing classes to take, I would take them. Me and my husband, because of the coronavirus, we weren't able to take the prepared childbirth class in person because of the coronavirus, but we were able to join a Zoom meeting, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen going on, and we were able to join that. And honestly, it just really so much stress and pressure that I had on myself for not knowing what to expect when things were going to start happening for us. We're there sitting through it and learned so much great information that it's definitely going to help us in the long run. And it honestly just made me feel less anxious about everything altogether. I then downloaded a couple podcasts, have been watching YouTube videos. I have talked to a bunch of my friends about certain things that I have been personally worried about. If you're not one to like talk or reach out to people, I would recommend doing that, because when you can educate yourself on what's to come, it really does release a lot of the anxiety. Obviously, things are still gonna come about that are unexpected, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, but that's life, and I think we all go through those times. And then the last thing that I'm going to recommend if you're facing any sort of anxiety or stress during pregnancy is just getting a good night's sleep, making sure you're drinking enough water. Those are two things that you can have control over, unless you have a sleeping disorder, which is unfortunate and it does happen, but I personally think getting enough sleep is such a great way to just release the body from the day and just feel good, and make sure you're restarting your body, and making sure you get that 8 to 9 hours of sleep is really essential to your overall health. I hope that this video was helpful. I wanted to shed some light because I personally have been, struggling in this pregnancy and even beforehand, and it's important to share awareness of these types of things because a lot of us go through them and it's hard to know what to do or what to do, and it's great to talk about it. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making a bunch more videos based on pregnancy during coronavirus and just in general of my experience of what I'm going through. I hope that you enjoyed this video and hope to see you soon. Thanks.